Okay, chapter 29. Only prophets can perform miracles, Awliyaa ikram cannot. Why do you say they can? Well, let's have a look. Let's start with Qur'an. So can Awliyaa ikram, i.e. non-prophets, can they perform miracles? Well, in the Holy Qur'an, Surah Maryam, Allah is talking to Maryam alayhi as-salam. وَهُزِّي إِلَيْكِ بِجِذْعٍ نَخْلَةِ تُسَاقِطْ عَلَيْكِ رُطَبًا جَنِيًّا. Shake the trunk of the palm tree and watch fresh ripe dates fall upon you. So we have a non-prophet who was instructed to go to a dying, almost dead palm tree, and she was instructed to shake it, and because of her shaking it, she got fresh dates dropping down. So this is a miracle of Hazrat Maryam. If they say, oh, it's done by Allah, of course it's done by Allah, but the wasila is Hazrat Maryam. Allah has given her the power to produce these dates by shaking the tree. Look at the Holy Quran 27:40, where Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam asked people, he asked, who will bring me the throne of Bilqis? And one jinn said, I will bring it to you. Okay? And then one human says, I will bring it to you before your eye can blink. And this human being wasn't a prophet, he was a waliullah. Okay? قَالَ الَّذِينَ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمٌ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ, because he had knowledge of the book. عِلْمٌ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ, he had knowledge of the book. He says, I will bring it to you before your eye can even blink. And then Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam said, فَلَمَّا رَآهُ مُسْتَقِرًّا عِنْدَهُ, I saw it right in front of me. As soon as he said it, I saw it right in front of me. Because this waliullah had knowledge of the book. And it's a pious man. He beat the jinn. The jinn couldn't do it that speed. But this human being, who's not even mentioned by name in Qur'an, he did it. And he wasn't a prophet. So when they say miracles can only be performed by prophets, they can't be performed by awliya, well, Qur'an doesn't agree. Okay? And by the way, there's a whole section in the books, like in Mishkat, on the miracles of the companions. There's a whole chapter on this. Alright, and I'm going to go through some of them. Look at Hazrat Umar radiyallahu ta'ala, and this is Kanzul Ummal, this is Bayhaqi, this is Mishkat. Hazrat Umar bin al-Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala, he was once in a khutbah, and he had sent previously an army, an Amir called Hazrat Sariya radiyallahu ta'ala. And in the middle of his khutbah, Hazrat Umar paused, and he said, Ya Sariya Al-Jabal, Ya Sariya Al-Jabal. He said it 3 times. Ya Sariya Al-Jabal. And then he carried on with the khutbah. So thalathan, 3 times he said it. And when a messenger came from the army some weeks later, he said, Ya Amirul Mu'mineen. He says, we were confronted by the enemy and we were losing. Suddenly we heard a voice saying, Ya Sariya al-Jabal. And we heard this 3 times, and we turned, looked at the mountain, and because they saw then the enemy's tactics, they managed to win the battle. And he asked, was that you? Was that your voice? And Hazrat Umar said, he said, yes, it was my voice. Hazrat Khubayb radiyallahu, this is Bukhari. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 places it's in Bukhari Sharif. Hazrat Khubayb, I don't know if you know his story. He was tortured and he was executed by the Quraysh. But when he was as a prisoner, the people in Makkah, they said, we saw him eating grapes even while he was chained and locked, and there was no fruit in Makkah at the time. Fruit is seasonal, as you know. In this country, where now we're spoiled, you can get food, all over the world. And the daughter of Al-Harith, radiyallahu ta'ala, she said it was actually sustenance. It is min Allahi rizqahu Khubayban. It was sustenance. Rizqun min Allahi rizqahu Khubayban. It was sustenance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for Khubayb. Now the story of Khubayb is such. So this is Hazrat Khubayb. This is Hazrat Umar. The story of Hazrat Khubayb is this. This is after Badr, and they had a prisoner, and they tied him to a stake in the ground, and they teased him. They said, wouldn't you want Muhammad in your place, and you safe and sound at home? Don't you want that? He goes, no, I don't want that. Then they gave their children spears, and they stuck the spears into him like this, and they were all the time teasing him. They said, don't you want the Prophet to be in your place? So you are safe and sound at home. He goes, no. And while the children were stabbing him, that 70 stab wounds he had, while the children were stabbing him, he turned to Allah and said, Ya Allah, send my salam to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, I don't want even a thorn to hurt the Prophet while I am safe and sound in my home. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in Medina Sharif, and he actually said to his companion, he goes, this is Khubayb salam that's being sent to me. So he had, before he was executed, before he was martyred, Allah had given him grapes, and he was eating them in his cage. This is Bukhari. It took me a long time to find this hadith. I knew it was there. This is two companions, Hazrat Usayd bin Hudayr and Hazrat Abbad bin Bishr radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma. They were talking to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it became dark. Okay, fi laylatin mudlima, it became dark. So they left for their homes. And when they left for their homes, وَمَعَهُمَا مِثْلُ الْمِصْبَاحَيْنِ يُضِيَانِ بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمَا. Subhanallah. They had two lamps shining from their hands as a miracle. They actually had a stick. It was a stick, and these are shining like torches. Yeah. And when they separated, they each carried a shining lamp until they ended up with their families. So they had torches shining from their hands, from sticks. And in fact, there's another hadith, they broke the stick when they had to separate, and they had one stick each. This is Bukhari. These are companions you haven't even heard of, Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, when people came for food to the house of Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, people were eating and eating and eating, and people were coming and coming and going. They were taking the food, and then the next group was coming, and it was always increasing. The people who used to eat, we found this food always increasing. In fact, when the time for Abu Bakr, when his time to eat, he actually said it's 3 times more than when we started. And he ate a little bit, and he took the rest to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So how many people? 12 groups of men. So 12 sittings. Right? So I don't know how much a group was. It must be several people. So one group came, they ate. Another group came, they ate. 12 groups. And by the time they finished, it was 3 times more than when they started. It was initially grouped for just about 3 or 4 people. It was initially that much food. MashaAllah. So we found, from authentic ahadith, how companion after companion, radiyallahu ta'ala anhum, they were subject to miracles. Now we call miracles mu'jaza for the prophets, but for the Awliyaa ikram we call them karamat, blessings. Okay, so it shows from Qur'an. Remember, we had someone bringing it's not a small miracle to bring a throne like this from hundreds of miles away, but this person had knowledge of the book and he was able to do that. So it shows knowledge of the Qur'an actually gives you spiritual power. That's got you interested, isn't it? Yeah. And Hazrat Maryam alayhi salam, she just shook a dead tree and fresh dates came just dropping down. Yeah. There's also wasila in this all over the place. And Hazrat Umar calling Ya Sariya, so he could have ilm ghaib, he knew what was going on, and he called the leader, and the leader then won the battle. Look at this. Okay, so just a taste of the fact that non-prophets can perform miracles. Okay. I mean, to be honest, if dead things can perform miracles like a shirt, or a staff, or a dead piece of meat, surely then pious people can perform miracles, isn't it? It's been an hour, yeah? Okay, wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.